Hi, I'm Scotty. If you want to learn how to service and repair antique mechanical clocks, then subscribe to my channel. Welcome to Scotties Clock World. The ultrasonic cleaner has been preheated to 30 degrees. On the left hand side of the screen there down the bottom you can see the mixture that I use in my ultrasonic cleaner. Now we're ready to start putting the parts in. First I'll cut a piece of wire, thin piece of wire, so we can tie the parts together for two reasons. One, it makes it easier when we're taking the parts out for reassembly. We know what parts are from the going side train and what parts are from the strike side train. And also it stops the smaller pieces dropping out of the bottom of the mesh cage in the ultrasonic cleaner. They're the first three wheels put on for the going side train, plus the escape wheel. I'll tie them up now so that they stay in place and don't fall apart. This video has been requested by a subscriber who wanted to know how to clean clock parts in an ultrasonic cleaner in a bit more depth than I usually put on my videos. Well, that's the going side train done. Now we'll repeat the operation for the strike side. Cut another piece of wire, bend it over. The wire's pretty thin, that's why I bend it over to make it a little bit stronger. Twist the end so it doesn't come apart. Okay, now we put the parts on. First wheel. Whoop, fell out, try it again. First wheel. This second wheel, it's also called the maintenance cam. The third wheel, which is a warning wheel, has those two little pins on it. And the fly. Put them together, jiggle them down a bit, tighten them up. That'll hold them together while they're being cleaned. Bit of excess wire there, I'll cut that off. And that's the strike side ready to roll. Put him aside. Now I'll take the mesh basket out of the ultrasonic cleaner and we'll start to fill it up with parts. We'll start off with the back plate. Put that in. And then the front plate, because they're quite large, quite wide. So we need to make sure that they're down below the second level on the side of the mesh basket, which I'll point out now. That level there, so that they're all fully immersed in the cleaning fluid. If part of the plate sticks up above that, you'll end up with a line that hasn't been cleaned in it. And then when you re-clean it, the rest has been done twice, so you won't get rid of it. Clock wheels have now gone in. Now we'll use these little mesh containers. They're actually tea strainers. Now this piece here is the motion works. We'll put that in next. Now back to our tea strainers again. They're very handy for putting small parts in so they don't fall out the bottom of the mesh basket. Undo the clip, open it up, Put our fast slow adjustment in. Put it aside. The nuts don't go in because they're steel. Into our second one. In a smaller basket, I'll put the clip that holds the count wheel on, and also the 4 nuts that hold the plates together. Right, we'll close that up now. Put both the tea strainers with their parts in them into the basket now. And see what else we've got. Right, we want the great wheel and the winding arbor from the going side and the strike side mainsprings. We'll remove the great wheels. I might have to use a multi-key on that, I think. Wind it backwards so it unwinds it from the whole end, and it just comes straight out. That's the mainspring, all clamped up. Lots of oil on this. Seriously over oiled. We'll clean that off with a fresh cloth before we put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Give it a bit better chance to clean it up. Now we'll do the same with the strike side. It's no doubt just as oily, but we're going to find out. Multi-key on it. Wind it backwards. You hear it click out. Mainspring back into the box. That's a loop end mainspring. It's different from a hole end, which we have in other videos I've done. You can see the grease on that. We'll wipe that off again. This is a pendulum. We'll put the pendulum in. It's all brass. That can go in. That's not a problem. Because both the great wheels look very similar, we want to put the correct one back in the correct side. On the strike side, I'll put a little bit of wire, wind it round, just so that when it comes out, we know that it's from the strike side. Twist it round. There it is, that's a piece of wire, we'll remember that. Right, now we're ready to put the basket into the ultrasonic cleaner. In it goes. Remove the tub for a minute, turn it on. 30 degrees, it's reached temperature. We'll put it on for 5 minutes. We'll let it run. The ultrasonic cleaner is now finished, so we'll take the basket with all the clock parts in out of the top, put it on a tray. There are the parts. You can see they look a lot cleaner than when they went in. We're now going to head out to the kitchen and go through the next part of the process. We're in the kitchen now. We're going to clean the ultrasonic cleaning fluid off the clock parts. First up, we'll fill a tub of cold water and then remove the parts from the basket and put them into the cold water. Tea strainer first. The tea strainer. That's both the great wheels, the going side and the strike side. Pendulum. And the back plate. Now the front plate. Now the strike side wheels going in. Followed by the going side train wheels. And last but not least, the count wheel. Put a little bit more water in. Wash the parts. Wash some of the early ultrasonic cleaner fluid off it. Top it up with water again. Now over to the other bowl of the sink, we've got some warm water we're putting in there. We're going to transfer the parts from the cold water over to the warm water. Turn the tap off. Going side wheels. Strike side wheels. Both the giant wheels or great wheels. Count wheel. Back plate coming up next. Just fits in. Motion works. The other half of it. And last but not least, the pendulum. Okay, once again, shake them round, agitate them. We want to get as much of the ultrasonic cleaner fluid off it as we can. Now we're ready to set up the next part of the operation. We're using shellite, also known as lighter fluid, which is pretty dangerous, so be careful when you're using it. We'll tip it into another tub, and what we're going to do now is take the individual pieces out of the warm water, shake some of the water off them, and then put them in to the shellite. Once they've been there for a little while and we've moved them round, we think we've got most of the water off them. We'll take them off, put them on our clean cloth outside there, and we'll put a heat gun over them on low speed in a moment to finish the operation. In the meantime, we're taking the wheels out. Putting them into the shellite. And then once we've shaken them round, taking them out of the shellite, putting them onto our clean cloth where they can dry out a little bit. Some of the shellite will evaporate off at room temperature, but we'll remove the rest with the heat gun in a moment. Back to the hot water or the warm water container. Take more parts out, put them into the shellite. Shake them round, get rid of the water contained on them and in them. And the front plate. Quick shake, flick some water and the shellite off them, put them onto our clean cloth. Motion works. And the pendulum bob. And the front plate. Right. Now we'll put the shellite back into its container. As I said before, it's rather dangerous, so we'll put that away. Pour it in through the funnel. Then we'll have a look and see how much water this shellite has taken off the parts. Collects in the bottom of the container and it gets ended up being tipped down the drain. And there you can see it. Most of that is water. There's a little bit of shellite sitting on top of it, but the majority of that is water. This is the heat gun that we're going to use to dry off the rest of the shellite off the parts. It's on low. We don't want the parts to get too hot. Spin them round so that we get full coverage of warm air over all of the parts, on each of the parts too. Pendulum bob, grape wheel, strike side wheels, back plate, count wheel, and the front plate. A final quick run over them. Right, we're back at the bench again. We've got our clean parts here. The front plate. That's the strike side grape wheel. Going side grape wheel. They all look pretty clean. All the oil's gone from them. They've come up rather nicely. Going side wheels. Escape wheel sitting on the top of it. That's the first wheel. Yep, they look pretty good. They're heaps cleaner than when they went into the ultrasonic, that's for sure. What else have we got in here? Grape wheel on the going side train. Yep, looks rather nice. Now you'll notice there someone has scratched a large R on that grape wheel. You don't do that. If you must mark any part of a clock, use one or two tiny little punch marks, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to deface it. Count wheel. Yep, cool. Looks pretty good. Back plate. Put him aside over there. Pendulum bob. Yeah, that's the nuts that hold the plates together. We'll put that clip over there. That's the clip that holds the count wheel on. The fast slow mechanism goes back in there. Very shiny. Lovely. Put that away. Grape wheel from the going side train. Put him over in his container. Grape wheel from the strike side. You can see the piece of wire we put on it to differentiate it. Don't need that anymore. I'll cut that off. Put it over in its container. Motion works. Here's the other piece, there we go. All together. That top piece there is called the cannon arbor. That's the one that the hour hand sits on. The minute hand sits on that inner one with the rectangle cut on the top of it. Strike side wheels. I'll cut the wire on that so we can put them into the block again. That's better, a bit easier to see for you. Take that wire off, get rid of that. Maintenance cam. First wheel. And now the going side train. Undo the wire on that. First wheel. Second wheel. Third wheel. And the escape wheel goes right at the top of the train.